Hello traders and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 200. What an amazing round number. That is 200 Saturdays of posting this weekly outlook and setups, and I really hope you found some value from it and that it has helped you analyzing the markets, checking with your analysis, and most importantly catching some amazing trades. Not only that, but it's a brand new month as well. So happy July. We're gonna have a monthly outlook and setups, and you know what that also means? It means that I'm gonna pick a giveaway winner. Somebody who has been commenting on all the videos and has a heart badge alongside his name. And also before I do that, I have some good news for you. I managed to graduate finally after 4 years. I successfully defended my thesis. I got a very great grade on my graduation thesis report. And I am finally out of university, which pretty much this is the biggest thing that I'm happy about, is that there's no more school, because I thought of actually dropping out like in my the beginning of the third year, but again, you've gone halfway through it, so why don't you finish it? So with that out of the way, finally I'm gonna have some more time to really focus on trading, on providing more content and doing stuff that I love. So very happy about that. Now, if you know, again, I'm running this giveaway where you comment on all my videos, and the more you comment, you're going to be getting a heart badge, and the person who's going to be winning full-time access and all-time access to everything that I offer is Mr. Issa Yusuf. So Issa, congratulations. Thank you so much for all your support throughout the years. You have been commenting a lot. You have been asking really good questions and everything. So you're going to be getting inside a community, you're going to be getting inside the program, you're going to be learning a lot. Currently, there is a very big revamp that I'm working on, so amazing things are coming for the Fanatic team, so congratulations. Make sure that you get in touch with me. Now, without further ado, let's not waste much time. Make sure you're subscribed and turn on the notification bell, because after a month or so, I'm going to be starting to post more educational content, more mindset, more psychology, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And with that being said, let's jump into the analysis because we have a lot to cover today. Alright, you know, we always start with the Dixie, but of course before we do that, very important to check the economic calendar for next week, which does look like we have some very important news, and we also have some bank holidays. Like you can see on Monday, it is Canada Day, but apart from that, we have manufacturing PMI for the US. Tuesday, RB8 rate statement, right? So very important for the Aussie traders. Meanwhile, we have a bank holiday in the US. Wednesday, FOMC minutes, very important. Thursday, Aussie news, Euro news, USD news. And of course, on Friday, we have NFP, speech from Lagarde, unemployment rate for CAT. So of course, there are some news to be mindful of, and you have to be also mindful that the first 2 days are bank holidays. But what I have also spotted is that many times traders say, well, it's a bank holiday, the market is not going to move, and that is exactly when it moves. So that's pretty strange, maybe because liquidity is low and the market's kind of inefficient and makes some massive movements. I don't know, but again, my thought process is tune in every single day, look for your setups. If they're provided, just take them, right? Also, something we can touch on before we start the analysis is that a lot of traders, a lot of people say that we are currently in the summer months. So like July, August, maybe even a little bit of September. That is like, is this Q3 already? Man, I'm lost. Yeah, I do believe we're entering Q3, or we entering in August. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm really not sure right now. But pretty much those 2 months are the summer months, where it is usually said that traders are on holidays or banks are on holidays or this. That's not really the case. The market moves every single month, right? Of course, I have heard that with indices that they might get a little bit quieter, right? Forex might get a little bit quieter, but as I said, just tune in every single day, every single week, and you're going to be finding your setups, and this is all that matters, right? So don't worry that we're getting into summer months. Of course, it is your personal decision to maybe take a break, to maybe go on holiday. Again, reward yourself. You need a break. Personally, I'm so burnt out right now from graduation, from trading, and from traveling, and from being here, from being there, that I just need a break, and I'm gonna be taking it very soon. So back to the analysis. Well, I'm currently on the monthly time frame, and as we have been mentioning for a while, like we have this massive impulsive move on the monthly. We dipped below the 50%. We took out this little low right there, and what I immediately see is that there was a little bit of imbalance, and you can see that the market didn't really feel it like to the 50%. Reacted, came in again as well, took out this low, reacted again, bullish candle last month, and this month it's printing as an inside bar. So the overall vibe of the DXY is bullish, right? So the question is, are we really gonna come in and to fill this whole imbalance area, or are we ready to push up? So again, in terms of the monthly candle, we cannot extract much apart from the fact that it's an inside bar, and what we can expect next month is some sort of a breakout, right? Where will the breakout occur? Well, usually with the macro direction, which is bullish. So can we expect, for example, for the market to attack this high, or can we expect the market to attack this low? So let's maybe transfer right now to the lower time frames to see what is happening. Now, weekly time frame, like what is tricky on the weekly is that we again came in, took out this low, right? Again, you decide, is this a structure break, right? Is this a liquidity gap? I have been observing like structure breaks because I don't want to say I was ignorant, but again, I wanted to be really systematic and say like, yeah, if it's a 1 pipette break below the low, it is a break, because again, if this level was strong, it shouldn't have violated, okay? But if it breaks like this with a 1 pipette, is there really conviction below this level? Not really. So what I also expect is that like if this high failed to really kind of cause a massive break of the low, then of course that could be weak. So again, you can see we tapped in, and look at the push down, very weak, and look at the push up, boom, 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 3 massive candles, but then of course we have 3 candles of pullback, and right now for 2 weeks, we are a little bit chopping. So what is it waiting for? Well, probably some sort of news, maybe NFP, maybe interest rate, maybe something it's waiting for, right? Because this week you can see perfect indecision. So you can see it's already a little bit hard to build a bias on the Dixie. Like the monthly is bullish, but we don't know if it's going to come in a little bit lower. Weekly is kind of bearish, but again, we know that this break right there wasn't really significant. Let's have a look at the daily. But we can see the daily. What I immediately see is, again, I started looking again. I'm currently practicing. So again, I practice as I also do this analysis. Okay, so again, I'm not perfect with imbalances and stuff. It's something brand new that I'm utilizing right now. You can see this was pretty much the last area, and this is where we also aligned bullish on the daily. The market came in, reacted lower high, lower low, tagged into this imbalance, and then aligned bullish on the day right there. Caused the break of structure, pulls back, higher low formation, broke up again, caused the break of structure, pulls back, potentially currently staying at a potential higher low on the daily. Okay, so what I see is that the daily right now is bullish. Again, right, monthly time frame is bullish. So I'm starting to frame a little bit of a bullish bias on the Dixie. Okay, and then of course dropping onto the 40 time frame, that could be a little bit different because yeah, this week was just tough. I mean, we pushed up. Then that looks like a valid structure break, but then you can see we come into liquidate, and then it kind of breaks structure down, but then it breaks structure up again on the 4H. Then here we actually also have kind of a valid break. What caused this break? It's this, and then of course there is. So you can see the 40 time frame is absolute mess. The 40 time frame is an absolute mess, and it's currently bearish, and that is our supply. So again, DXY, just doing this analysis from the monthly all the way to the 4H, it doesn't give me like a yes, this market is bullish, or yes, this market is bearish. It's kind of a little bit 50-50. I am more inclined towards the buy side, so towards bullishness. So let's see how the daily is going to prevail from this daily zone right there, because again, we had a daily push, a daily pullback, a daily push, and right now this is a daily pullback, although the 40 time frame is bearish. So what I would imagine, come in inside here, align bullish on the 4H and push up. Another thing that I could imagine is maybe we create a pullback, and then maybe we drop lower, and then from there we're gonna see what is gonna happen. Okay, but again guys, as I always say, think in terms of scenarios and be open-minded, and just allow for the market to show you what it wants to do. Because right now, if you say, yeah, the market's gonna go down, but then the market starts up and you're like, oh, what am I doing right now? So again, flow with the market. But yeah, I do have a bullish feeling more. I really like how this bullish alignment formed within this recent bullish weekly leg. We pulled back, we filled in. Well, there's no weekly imbalance, but we tapped into something right there. So I am getting a more bullish vibe on the Dixie. But of course, currently on the 4H, it is bearish. On Friday, we had this massive bearish engulfing candle right there. So again, saying that I have this overall bullish feeling on the DXY, let's see if I'm going to be getting a bearish feeling, for example, on EU and all the other pairs. So let's see how the other pairs are doing. Hopefully they can get us more insight into, okay, what will actually the dollar do. Euro USD on the monthly time frame, it's pretty much in reverse to the DXY, but I really don't look at the monthly a lot because it's very slow and it usually doesn't give me what I need, right? So maybe you can say, for example, right now, yeah, the monthly time frame is bearish, right? But what that ignores a little bit is the current sentiment. And you can see the current sentiment has been pretty bullish on the euro. When it comes to like imbalances right there on the left, yeah, you can start searching for them. Like this one got filled. There is one exactly right there. If you draw it like that, this is also perfectly filled at 50%. We got a reaction, but that reaction failed to kind of cause a break of this low. And right now we have an inside bar. So what I'm currently getting on the EU is actually more of a bullish vibe, which does not resonate with the bullish vibe I had on the DXY. Okay, so just because again we have pulled back above the 50%, that does not mean the market is gonna drop, but it could definitely drop. So let's maybe try to find some clues about that. But monthly time frame bearish above the 50%, inside bar on the monthly, so we could expect a breakout next month. Now, what you can see on the weekly time frame here is that again we had this break structure. It's also a body break, but it tacked into this monthly imbalance right there, tacked inside this very big weekly supply zone, reacted. But again, this reaction took the market into demand. And right now we had like this massive weekly engulfing candle, and then right now 2 weeks of chop. Okay, what I immediately see right there on the weekly is that again there is some sort of an imbalance created right there, something that could be filled because everything else is balanced, right? So you can see if we have such an impulsive move that creates imbalance, that pretty much means that yeah, there are a lot of buyers stepping into this market, because again, if there are not buyers stepping in, there wouldn't be imbalance. Okay, so weekly time frame, it's more bullish than it is bearish, which again does not resonate a lot with what I said on the Dixie. And then of course dropping onto the daily, like EU, I'm pretty much trading EU as my main pair. We know, we keep repeating it every day. The daily time frame shifted bearish, attacked this low, attacked this low, attacked this low. There is that little bit of imbalance right there that the market came in, it filled, right? It tapped into the weekly demand zone, aligned bullish on the daily, and then we kind of pushed up, pulls back higher high, higher low, higher high. Pretty much the liquidity target was this, which got taken, I believe, last week. Yeah, that got taken last week. Then we had this massive drop that aligned the daily to bearish. And then the question is, well, is this a liquidity grab to fill in the imbalance to push up, or is it actually a trend change? And as you can see, we pulled back and we held from this daily supply. Okay, and then we came in and we also took out this low, which currently means that our daily supply and daily lower high is this guy right there. So again, the question is, what is gonna happen right now? Again, this imbalance is not fully filled, which is on the weekly, daily, and then right now dropping onto the 40 time frame. Well, yes, the market kind of massively dropped down, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. It came all the way up, you can see, towards that last sort of imbalance. Again, an exercise that I did is I just marked every single imbalance, and I was very surprised to see that all of those got filled. Like, very fun. So tapped in, massively reacted to the downside, and came in and took out the low. So you can see EU has been overall bearish. So right now we broke down what caused the break. Well, you can say that it actually was this guy, because that right there is actually a valid range that caused the break. So right now you can say that you also have like a trend change up right here. Man, this is tough. Okay, so this is tough because we have like a weekly 50-50, daily kind of bullish, but at the same time currently bearish. Is it just like pulling back in order to push to make a move higher? 40 time frame made this kind of ABC to the downside after creating quite a couple of moves to the upside. So again, is it gonna go long or is it gonna go short right now? Very, very, very hard question to answer, right? So let me know, guys, what you think in the comments. But if I only focus right now solely on the FOH, well, that's what happens. There has been a breakdown. Again, I always ask the question, what is the valid lower high that caused the break? And then according to my rules, it's this. Again, I am not sharing my rules for structure. Again, this is something that I want you to do yourself. Of course, I teach it in my private program. If you want to take the shortcut, that is the way to do so. But I've worked 6 months to determine a systematic way of marking structure. So that's some hard work. According to me, there is a break of structure right there, and that is a demand zone that caused the break. There is lots of imbalance as well. So again, another scenario could be that the market can pull us back, and then if the 15-minute starts aligning, I could start looking for the longs. Okay, I also like how the market there is a little bit of a fall imbalance right there. The market came in and filled it, and then it pulls into the high. So I am getting a bullish vibe on it, which does not resonate with the bullish vibe I got in right here. But of course, this can also go short, because if you see, the last fall break was down. So if we get a pullback, then of course we can expect the short. So if this one gives us a pullback down, DXY pull back up, and pull back up, and both of them align, then of course we can get the long on EU. So this is my analysis right now. I am of course aware we're going to be tapping inside the daily supply, okay, but I'm aware that the 4-hourly time frame is bullish right now. So let's see who is going to prevail. Personally, once again, give it some time, get a feel of the market, see which direction is going to take over, and that is when you strike. Okay, so that's my analysis on EU. Let me know in the comments what you think. Are we going to go up? Are we going to go down? Or of course, we're just going to flow with the markets. Well, Euro-yen on the monthly time frame, what I can say is that is just bullish and it's pushing like crazy, especially this monthly candle right there, the candle of June. Now, there is of course a structure break. The market is definitely bullish, right? That is potentially our monthly higher low formation. After we had a push up, we pull back, beautiful monthly higher low formation, and then we continue going up, right? If you trade with that monthly bias, and like in this case, if you had like a pullback below the 50% on the monthly, a tap inside a demand zone on the monthly, then of course you can have a lot of confidence to go long. But you can see it took like 1, 2, 3 months in order for the market to actually make the move up. So for 3 months, you could be taking 1,000 shorts or longs, okay? If I just go a little bit on the left, although I don't do this, like we are about to reach like this massive buy to sell right there. So that is a massive supply area. There is imbalance here, there is imbalance there. So usually like the market is probably want to build like the last one, which is right here. So again, the question is, are we going to keep pumping for 1 more month until we fill that imbalance? Are we going to initiate a pullback? Again, guys, we don't know. We don't know. And of course, how are we going to know is by looking at the intraday timeframes. So weekly time frame, there is a structure break right there. There is a demand zone right there on the weekly. But again, you can see it's been 3 consecutive weeks of push up. Okay, so what can we extract? Well, nothing much. Dropping onto the daily, well, there is a structure break up. There is also a daily demand zone. So what is the daily doing right now? It is pulling back. We also have that little bit of an imbalance right there that just got filled. So I do believe we can have 1 more push up, although like the monthly and the weekly are quite extended. Maybe the monthly time frame, the next monthly candle is gonna probably make a wick down before it pushes up. So again, the question is, what can we expect for the next monthly candle? Well, of course, we can expect it for it to be bullish, but of course, we can expect for it to start a pullback. Again, usually a pullback we start as we tap into something, and we still, I believe, we haven't really tapped into anything like imbalance or taking out a higher low. So it is definitely possible we continue pushing up. On the 4-hourly time frame, like if I just look into it, well, there was a valid higher low, then we broke up, and then we shifted down right there. Then we broke down as well. Lower high, boom, lower low. So technically right now, so very similar to EU, very similar to EU. We had that little downtrend right there, but you can see on Euro Yen, there was a downtrend, but it was very weak. And you can see the downtrend here was like on a bigger scale. Okay, so you can see that for the Euro Yen is definitely a very powerful pair right now. So when it comes to the most recent 4-hourly structure, there is an alignment and there is a very big demand zone. So if I get the market within here, and then if the 50-minute time frame aligns, then of course we can start targeting like the highest high right here. Is there a chance we push a little bit deeper into this zone? Absolutely, because that is a weekly/daily zone, and you can see the 50% hasn't been tapped yet. So of course, if the market starts bearish, taps inside this zone, I would expect longs if the 50-minute also gives me the setup. But of course, we can take shorts as well, dive us deep into that 50%. And then of course, if we align again on the 4-hourly time frame, that is when we can also take longs again. So this is my Euro Yen analysis. I am very bullish on it. Again, my biggest question is when it comes to the monthly, because we're going to have a new monthly candle open. And usually when the new monthly candle opens, it's going to create a wick to the downside. Like you can see, not every candle has a big wick to the downside, but of course we can expect that little wick down and then of course a continuation up. So I am very bullish on Euro Yen. It's just going up and up and up and up. So again, if you get a long opportunity, then definitely do so. But those are the 2 scenarios that I see as of right now. I am not sure how many of you are trading the Aussie, but I do believe just by monitoring it, it has been very tricky in the past, even in the past few months, right? In the past few weeks, definitely, right? So as you can see on the monthly time frame, right? So we kind of had this push up, pulls back. Like here we have a monthly trend change, monthly break of structure. And then of course, what caused this break of structure? That is the big question, because if you take this, then of course there is like this break. If you take this, then the market is still bearish. And if you also take this, then the market is also still bearish. And then of course you can drop your fib from here, which is 50%, so we can start expecting shorts. But you could also drop your fib from there, so slightly bit subjective right there. So again, I leave like the benefit of the doubt to you, decide what structure you want to take. But if I just zoom in on the monthly time frame, like what I see is that there were 2 massive months lower, indecision candle, and then 3 bullish months pushing higher. Then since then we kind of started this push down, which to me looks like a pullback. Okay, what I also see is that on this push up there was imbalance created. Well, we can see on the push down there is no imbalance. That was perfectly filled. We dipped even a little bit deeper, and right now we kind of had an overall bullish month, but not really bullish. I mean, the wick is even bigger than the body, which is not a good signal. So just looking at the monthly time frame on the Aussie just kind of tells me nothing, right? I can't really say yeah it's bullish or yes it's bearish, and this is something that you usually want to avoid. Dropping then on the weekly time frame, again we know that the market came in right there, took out this high, then came in right there, took out this low, then continued going lower, then it went higher. So the most recent weekly alignment is bullish, and that alignment came in after fully filling this imbalance right there. Okay, aligned bullish. And also what I really started looking within pushes in order to determine whether they're strong is if they actually form imbalance, and there is imbalance right there. The market pushed up, it pulls back. It's definitely below 50%, right? And it's tapping into like the pretty much in the demand zone on the weekly. So weekly, bullish, okay? Daily time frame, the funny thing about the daily is that it's exactly the same as the weekly, right? There is no daily high low that is gonna shift the market down. Still the daily low is here, the daily high is here. So we're definitely trading within this daily range. The market pulls back below 50%, right? And it's tapping right now within this area. If I look on the daily time frame, is there something that the market could be seeking? Well, there is that little guy right there. So is it gonna come in that low? Again, I don't know. It definitely could be. But again, the tough part about this is that it is a very big range. So it's a little bit hard to work on the daily and wait for an alignment on the daily, because again, the daily is bullish, trading between this low and this high right there. Okay, so keep this in mind. And then of course the hourly time frame is gonna offer us that insight, because again it was bullish, trend change down, bearish, right? So right now we're bearish in this correction phase. And if we have a look like at this last breakout structure, that is valid here, not valid. Okay, so we are on the hourly time frame, we are still trading between this high and this low. So what I can say from this is that we could have another push down to actually come in and fill in that imbalance, because again, looking on the Forex, that is a very strong push down. There is nothing else that is valid right there. There is no like trend change up, so we're still trading between this high and this low on the Forex. We're above 50%. The last imbalance that I see is this guy. So what I would expect to happen, just again forecasting a little bit, pushes up, right? Lower time frame alignment, lower low, maybe even pushes inside this imbalance, and then from there we're gonna see what's gonna happen. So there is my macro outlook on the Aussie, but again, I do believe it's just a little bit tricky. Like broke down, broke up, broke down. Okay, so right now we have a very sharp break to the downside. I do believe between this high and this low that this is a strong leg. Yes, we're tapping inside this weekly demand zone, but we also have to ask the question, has enough liquidity been taken? Has price been rebalanced in order to get ready for it to initiate another macro move up? Well, personally, I don't think so, unless we go on and break this high, which is gonna cause a hourly alignment. And then from there, we might say, okay, well, if the last strong high fails, then of course, all of these runs right there are gonna become weak. So currently, I am short bias on the Aussie. Okay, so let's see how it goes into the upcoming week and of course into the incoming month. Aussie yen, ooh, that is gonna be a skip probably. So massive engulfing candle on the monthly time frame, potentially coming in for that week monthly high. Once again on the monthly we pushed up, we did below the 50%. There was imbalance created right there. You can see it was filled to the 50%, right? Not the fullest, but I heard that the 50% is what usually you want to see happening. Weekly time frame, absolutely big push up. We had a bearish week and right now we have an indecision candle. Of course, there is lots of imbalance to be filled. The question is it going to get filled right now or is it going to get filled after we take out the high? Okay, that is usually a question that you have to ask yourself. Daily time frame, very big push up, and again the daily range is from this low to this high. So of course there is a lot of space to go to the 50%. Even if the market is gonna do that, of course, like there is that imbalance below the 50%. So that is something we could look for, but I don't really think we're gonna have like 1 or 2 bearish weeks and then start a push up. If this market is bullish, it's gonna push from here. So of course, let's see, daily time frame is just correcting. And if the hourly time frame shifts bullish, then you can start expecting the bullishness. So, oh man. So the fun thing about this one is that, again, according to your rules, when it comes to your market structure, according to me, that is the range right there. So again, I'm not gonna say why. Again, you can say that this is your higher low, you can say that this is your higher low, you can say that this is your higher low. To me and to my rules on the Forex, those are not higher lows. So technically, again, according to me, which is a little bit funny, we're trading between this low and this high, and all of that right there is internal. So technically, this one right there is our liquidity. So this immediately makes it hard to trade. And of course, you can make an exception, and then you can say, okay, this is my breakdown. Okay, if I make an exception, then of course this is gonna be another breakdown. Okay, then of course the market just continues going down. This is going to be another breakdown. What caused this breakdown? Well, it's this. So again, if we have like a breakup right there, that is going to be a hourly alignment bullish. And then from here, you can start trading to the upside if this happens. Okay, but of course, keep in mind that according to me, that's the low, that's the high, and we're still trading within this range. So looking at AJ, not loving it, because again, it has all that internal structure. It has massive daily range. It has a massive weekly range, right? So what is going to happen first? I don't know. But I personally believe we can continue pushing up to take out this high before we start filling in the imbalance. Because again, right now the market has like pulled back enough. It has filled in this imbalance, and right now it seeks the high, I believe. So let's see. But of course, it's possible we pull back to the downside. So take a look at this. But of course, it's bullish right now on the hourly time frame. So if you manage to catch any longs, then of course, that is the bias. Let me know what you think about the Aussies in the comments. Alright, so the NZDs, they're pretty much gonna be the same as the Aussies. Once again, a little bit tough to figure out, okay, what is happening right here. Is this our range, right? Or is this our last range? Or is this one, again, slightly bit tricky? Again, a lot, very subjective. So let's just examine what has happened recently. Okay, we have a big push right there to the upside. So the market has come in, maybe tapped inside this wick, we don't know, but it initiated very strongly outside. And again, you can see we have this strong push up and then a very slow correction down. What did this push up create? It created imbalance. What has happened recently? We have filled it to the 50%. So we can see that slight bit bullishness coming in right there. What is the next area of imbalance that I see? It's right there. So that could be potential next target, pairing it with this weak high right there. So monthly time frame, I would say more bullish. Okay, then weekly time frame, we broke up, we broke down, pulls back, lower high, boom, 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 boom. Very big range right there, very huge range here. Look at that. That is 77 days, which is, what is it, around, yeah, a month and a half of the market chopping, pushed very strongly down. Where did it push down? Well, you immediately see it. Imbalance, 50% tagged, reacted, and right now it pulled back down again, right? So still the weekly time frame is kind of bearish, reacting from this supply, but of course we see that the overall kind of macro bias, I do believe it's more bullish. Okay, making our way all the way down to the daily time frame. Still the daily time frame is also bearish. Like if you don't take this as a break and then this is a trend change, which I wouldn't really do so, the daily time frame is still trading between this high and this low. There goes the market pushed, pulled back, filled in all the imbalance, and right now it's dropping down. So what I get a feeling could happen is we might push down to make a new lower low, take some more liquidity, and then start aligning bullish. Or of course, like if I drop right now to the hourly time frame, we might start pushing up from here. So you can see structure is a little bit tricky. Like we had that massive range right there. We dipped below. Technically, the market is bearish, tapping us into imbalance, taking a lot of liquidity. So I would expect that bullishness, okay? But the daily time frame is still bearish to me, and it hasn't shown me any bullish signs, okay? But it could definitely, like from here, it could definitely rock to the upside. Don't get me wrong. So those are like the two scenarios on the daily. Then, of course, checking the hourly time frame, knowing what the daily is doing. The hourly time frame had a nice downtrend right there. The last Yeah, here again, if you're really systematic like I am, there is no lower high within right there. There is definitely no lower high within here. You can, of course, sometimes make an exception and say, yeah, this is a break and then that is a breakup. You can do so, but again, according to me, still the 40 time frame is also trading between this high and this low, because within here, there are some specific wicks and there are some specific breaks right there that don't really form a valid hourly range. So as I told you on the daily, I do get a feeling that we might come in to take out this low, because the daily high, daily low, we pull back, we're pushing down, and the 40 time frame is still bearish right now. So let's see, right, on the 40 time frame, where is the last imbalance? It's exactly right there. We're currently filling in this one. We have a lot of bullish pressure. So I would say, guys, again, this one is about being open-minded once again. We could be going up, right? Look at this last push. We can pull back and we can initiate up. If we start bullish, filling right there, I'm going to be looking for a lower time frame confirmation to start heading lower, okay? But again, it's all about flowing with the markets. So when it comes to NZD/USD, 50-50, but I am more on the bullish side, macro, but I also think, like just looking on the daily time frame with this last push, with this pullback right there, I also think we might head lower to grab this as liquidity, okay, and then maybe initiate a bigger move to the upside. Okay, so be mindful of this. Okay, be mindful of this, and let's of course just flow with the 40 time frame, which is currently bearish according to me, but also according to your rules, it could also be bullish. Okay, so keep that in mind. A little bit hard. Look at NJ. NJ is already making that monthly high. It's already kind of probably about to tap into something right there. But as we take a massive high on the monthly, now we can expect a retracement. Okay, where does the retracement happen? Well, of course, it's going to be looking to rebalance something, which is this imbalance. So we can immediately start expecting that the market could go down right now. Daily time frame, there is the last daily break. Okay, is there any sort of imbalance within this daily push? No. So what does that mean? Is that means it's weak. Okay, it means it's weak, and what that means that this can potentially become liquidity. Dropping on the 40 time frame, look at the foliage. That is the last break right there. Yep, the last break. And here, yeah, this one broke, but it's not valid. So again, it's exactly the same as NZD/USD. That is the last hourly push down. That is the last hourly pullback. There is the last imbalance that is currently being filled. So I do believe on the NZDs we could get a short. But again, the market could open and it can just push up. Again, guys, we don't know. But this is my outcome right now on the NZDN. So bearish bias here. More bearish bias right there. So again, trying to figure out like the overall sentiment of the NZDs. They're showing me shorts. So of course, let's see how the market is going to play out. Make sure you drop to your 50-minute time frame right there. Wait for your confirmation, wait for your setups. And of course, let's see how it's going to play out. But of course, keep an open mind. Well, USDN is just rocking to the upside. The question is, are we going to be going for a new monthly high, which is it an all-time high? Well, that doesn't have a lot of data, probably not an all-time high, right? So I have to maybe check the broker, which is Oanda right there. But very bullish, very bullish. Again, is it going to create a pullback? Is it going to continue pushing up? Again, that is a question for next month. I do believe we could continue pushing up because potentially right now it's seeking like external liquidity, which is that monthly high. However, you can see also if you start dropping to the lower time frame again, when you are on the monthly, right, and you see like this push and this pullback and you expect the high, but usually there are going to be macro steps across every single time frame. Like for example, the weekly cannot be the same as the monthly and just push up. The weekly is going to push up, pull back, push up, pull back, push up, pull back, right? Push up, pull back, push up, okay? The 40 time frame is going to be making like up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. The 50-minute is going to be making a lot of that as well. Okay, so this is how you actually work your way with all the time frames. So right now what I see is that imbalance is filled, right? And when this is filled, we can expect a pullback in the opposite side. So what do we have on the opposite side is we have a break of structure. We have a new range. There's the 50% and there is imbalance below the 50%. So again, this is something we can start expecting right now because we don't expect right now the weekly to just open and just to keep carrying on towards that monthly high. It's going to create a pullback. And then it's going to continue push. And then maybe it's going to create another pullback. And that is when it's going to take out the high. Okay, so expect this. Of course, let's drop to the daily. The daily time frame is definitely bullish. I mean, it's bullish. Again, this week we opened with a bearish, created the weekly low, push, 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 pull back on Friday. Okay, so absolutely bullish. The only imbalance that I see is from here, so that is a potential area we can expect for the market to pull back into. And then of course, like there's too many of those imbalances right now, so it kind of gets a little bit messy. But then dropping on the foliage, like you can see, the foliage right now is starting to look a little bit sketchy. That right there is a valid structure break that was caused by pretty much this low. There is no break structure right there, so that is the low we need to see broken. It could be this, but I would take it conservatively. Oops, what did I do? I would take it conservatively to here. So if this low gets broken, although like you can see there is not a lot of volume kicking in, then of course we can start expecting like a slightly deeper pullback to pull us back on the daily, and then potentially start initiating higher. Okay, what I see so far right now, like you can see from here, from Wednesday, Thursday, chop this week, like it pushed up, and then Friday, no, this is actually, this week is this one, we had a nice uptrend, but then towards the end we started chopping out a little bit. So once again, give it some time. We don't have JPY news for next week. Okay, so that could definitely cause the market to move a little bit cleaner. But again, I just looking on the 40 time frame, you can see there is no imbalance on the 40 time frame anymore. So I would expect that it's gonna seek some liquidity, take out like this low, this low, this low, maybe even this low before it aligns bullish, and then it starts expanding to the upside. So again, I am very bullish on the macro scale of things, but I do believe we could have some sort of a daily, some sort of a forward pullback to the downside. Okay, so stay mindful. I wouldn't really suggest you trade from this area because that area is very, very weak. It's very choppy. I don't see like a very strong exit outside of it to really show me like, yeah, this is a lot of buying pressure right there. Like, I mean, compare this push, very nice push, very big breakout structure with imbalance, pulls back, continues going on. Compare with this push, like pushed, chop, 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 pulls back, very weak, not good. So again, UJ, overall bullish on the daily, weekly, and monthly, but I do believe we can get like a little pullback. So let's see what happens on this one. And again, just flow with the markets and wait for structure to form before you engage. Well, USD-CAD is always a puzzle for me, but let's try to break it down, right? So again, it depends on how you look on the monthly time frame. There is definitely a breakout structure right there. But then of course, is this also a breakout structure right here, right? That is pretty much the main question, and it depends whether you take this as a lower high, or according to you, this is still the lower high that caused the break, okay? So what I see right there is that we had a lot of chop, 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 but there came a time right there in August that we just boom, pumped up, and we pumped up very strongly, and we formed a lot of imbalance. Now that imbalance was filled, right? But then we still failed to push up. Now this month you can see it's very bearish. And again, it's coming in to take a lot of liquidity that I have been forecasting is going to get taken for quite a while, right? Every single time the price came close to it, I always said it's going to get taken, but it never did, but it finally did. Okay, so currently, like, according to me, the weekly starts from here, the weekly ends from there. That's the 50%. We're definitely below the 50%, okay? And again, the weekly, according to me, it's still bullish if you don't take like this as a break of structure down. So again, this is very subjective, UCAT, and it really depends on how you look at structure. Because again, to me, it could be this push, but then to you, it could be like from here, lower high, and right now it could be making a lower low. And of course, that could be your last weekly supply and weekly lower high. So again, we're tapping inside this little guy right there. Oops, this week we had a nice kind of bullish candle, not very strong, but not also very weak. Dropping onto the daily time frame, well, we are having actually a daily bullish alignment. It's not very strong, not very convincing. There was an imbalance created, right? We chopped for 2 days, okay? We also kind of came in right there, also swept a little bit of liquidity, pushed up, okay? So what I'm very curious with right now is, are we gonna get a long trade? So we can see the imbalance is already filled. That was formed right there, filled 50%, reacted. So then of course, let's check out the 40 time frame, which is probably gonna get tricky, like oops. So here we had a break up, and here we kind of had a break down, and then up, and then down. Man, oh, this UCAT is always giving me trouble. Well, currently I'm gonna say it's still bearish on the 4H, but it's bearish in a very kind of shitty manner that it can just pump up from here. Okay, so if we have like a pullback inside the zone, if we have a deeper tap, then of course wait for a forward alignment, okay? But what I'm gonna say is don't be afraid to also go long. What I see is happening right here is we have like the market accumulating, going down, then accumulating again, going down, then initiating up. So right now, what I do believe is we can start having an uptrend on UCAT. So let's see if it's actually ready for an uptrend. Of course, monitor your time frames. That is currently how the 4-hourly time frame is looking like, but the daily filled in imbalance. So can we have one more leg down, or are we going to initiate up from here? And then you, of course, your task is going to be just to keep following the 4-hourly time frame. So that is UCAT. I'm getting more of a bullish vibe. So let's see if that comes to fruition. Now, the GBPs, there are also a little bit of a puzzle, but of course, let's try to break it down. Now, we had this massive push to the downside, creating like this massive low right there. And since then, we have been correcting to the upside, currently sitting around 1.28, okay? The first thing that I see is, of course, okay, where is it going? Well, there it is. It came in to rebalance this imbalance right there, which is like within this overall push right there, and that is kind of above the 50%, okay? So... when it rebalances one point, it usually goes to kind of tap or take out another point of liquidity. So of course, on the monthly time frame, we have tapped inside this. So what we can expect is some sort of a sell side to be taken. Okay, but again, you can see on the weekly time frame, we just came in. Right now, we're having a weekly high. There is also imbalance right now on the weekly that is already being filled. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we just from here, if we just continue to push up. Okay, because we also, well, not also, we haven't yet tapped into the 50%. And I see there's probably going to be something on the daily right there. So again, I'm getting a more bullish vibe on this one. Daily time frame, well, that imbalance being filled. What is there on the daily? Well, there is nothing on the daily. There is just like this candle right there. So with all that being said, like yeah, it doesn't matter that the monthly time frame has tapped inside this guy. Of course, that I don't think that it's going to cause like a massive bearish monthly candle, okay, because I do believe we're bullish. Weekly time frame pushed up, it pulls back, it's filling in the empty space right now, which is very good. It hasn't tapped the 50%, which is something that we could do. And the daily time frame right now, I do believe the daily time frame is coming in from this low to this high. So again, you can see that actually we tapped the 50%. So dropping onto the 4H, so if the 4-hourly time frame has aligned bullish, then I do believe we can start going long, and it actually did. There is a valid break lower. Then there is a valid break higher. The market very sharply imposed. That is our last, I'm just going to take it from here. Last 4-hourly zone, last 4-hourly demand. There is an imbalance. Okay, so if we have a push down right there, alignment, first target, of course, the high, second target, all of these highs to the left. Okay, so there is your breakdown. Okay, so not 100% clean on the higher time frames. Yes, we tapped inside right here, but again, you can see we tapped in and we already gave the reaction. We already pulled back like towards that weekly empty space. We filled it in. Okay, daily time frame, just taking like the last daily range, which I do believe is from this low to this high. Right, that's the cleanest low that caused this massive break. 50% was tapped. This sell candle was tapped. That could be like an order block, demand zone, whatever it is. And the 4-hourly time frame has aligned bullish. So what I say is that I'm bullish on GU, and I'm going to be looking for a pullback and potentially taking out the highs. But of course, keep an open mind. Everything else could happen. But that's my bias and that's my analysis. GJ, ooh, getting choppy. Massive bullish candle right there, filling in the imbalance. I do believe we pretty much filled it all. Right, so right now, can we expect for the market to maybe take out the high, or is it gonna respond from this sort of zone right there? Which again, I don't like drawing zones to all the way to the left, like in 2015. But again, it is what it is. Massive bullish month. Can we continue? Are we gonna go down again? We don't know. Massive weekly, starting to kind of slow down the last 2 weeks. Lots of imbalance to the downside. Like the first bit of imbalance on the weekly time frame that I see is this. And that is pretty much, let's say, within the last weekly range. Okay, daily, daily broke up, and you can see the daily starting to chop. And when the daily, like when one time frame starts to chop and there is like a lot of imbalance to the downside, then we can potentially start expecting for the market to go down and start kind of fulfilling in that imbalance. So daily time frame, yes, we broke up. But again, you can see there is not a lot of conviction for it to go up. Like, yeah, the daily range is still from here to here. So if we pull back and give some sort of a long trade, that could be good. But then, of course, you drop to the 4-hourly time frame and you can see that, yeah, bullish, high. Yeah, that's the last one. It's valid. Last higher low was here, so we broke down. And then we never broke. Oh, yeah, we broke up. We broke up, and then yeah, well, technically right now the bias is bullish on the 4H. There is no imbalance, as you can see. So guys, if you trade something, I would say go trade GU. GU is much cleaner, but also seeing that the GJ has like a little bit of a downside potential. Like what I do believe could happen is we might come in to take out all of these flat lows right there, to then tap inside imbalance, then go up. But you can see that there is like that recent hourly shift down, and then we aligned bullish, so that could also be a liquidity grab. So again, GJ to me 50-50, I like much more GU. So if you pick something between the GBPs, pick GU, and let's see how it's gonna play out, because GJ according to me is slightly bit 50-50 and yeah, a little bit high on the range. So let's see what's gonna happen. Let's flow with the markets. But again, there is my most recent bias. Forward is bullish, so of course if you just wish to follow forward structure, there is the bias. All right, let's try to break down gold. So if we try to find the last monthly range, well, I do believe it starts from here. Like it's either from this low or from this low to this high. We pull back below 50% and again, try to push up and again, tries to push up again. And right now we're kind of having that little bit of a pullback. So again, the overall, of course, bias on gold is bullish, right? That's the all-time high. But you can see like on 2 attempts, we tried to break it and we failed. So what does it want? Exactly, okay. We had a nice push down right there, and then you can see once again, if you look at these candles, they're weak, and then look at these candles, like boom, 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 massive bullishness. Okay, what do we have? Imbalance. Okay, there's one. It got perfectly tagged in, and then we continue to go up. Okay, but then of course we have one right there just below as well. So currently the market could be in a push, it could be in a pullback mode, and it could start continuing going higher. So of course, let's check this out on the weekly time frame, which I do believe is the case, because again, knowing how perfectly it came in to fill that monthly imbalance right there, and then it massively initiated into the highs. And then of course, what did it do as it initiated into the highs? It formed another imbalance right there, and look at what is currently being filled. Exactly this week, we filled it in. And if we take this overall range right there, we're also below the 50%. Okay, and although like here we had like a breakup, then a breakdown, and right now a breakdown, that is kind of structure that we're probably gonna see on the daily. Weekly time frame is bullish, and we're fulfilling a very important area of imbalance. So can we start expecting the longs? Well, let's wait for the daily to simply align. There is the last daily break, there is the last daily lower high. So when this supply fails, then we can say that the daily is bullish, and that is when we can really start going long with confidence. Because right now, yeah, the forward time frame, if we drop down, then this is gonna be a breakdown, then this is gonna be a breakup. You can see a very tiny break, but again, it's a break. Pulls back, higher low, boom, higher high. The higher high formed with a lot of conviction. It has a very nice demand zone. Didn't really form imbalance right there, but there is one forming in right here. So let's see, right? Similar, for example, to EU, GU, they have like that very recent bullishness, that bullish bias, but the daily is still bearish. So let's see if the forward time frame is gonna prevail, okay, and then eventually break the daily. Because as I said, if we break the daily, then of course we can say that the daily bias can also change, and then we can start targeting all of these highs to the left. So again, guys, let's see. That's my view on gold. The question is, are we gonna push up from here? The forward time frame is aligning bullish, so let's see if it's gonna sustain. And if we break the daily high, then we have clear daily bullish bias in alignment with the monthly and the weekly. So let's wait and see. The stock market is doing absolutely amazing. My stock portfolio is at all-time highs. Although my last buy, I just reflected last week on my last stock buy, it was in end of January. So I haven't bought any stocks for quite a while, and I'm pretty stupid for not doing that, because again, we had like a very nice brief pullback right there in March, and right now every stock is pretty much going up. What we can see within US 30s, that of course we had like this breakdown right there, which could be internal, but then we have this internal breakup on the monthly time frame. We have this range, the market did below the 50%, and right now potentially the target is that monthly high. So bullish bias on the monthly. Weekly time frame, once again, the weekly time frame is exactly the same as the monthly. There is the push. There was like that little bit of imbalance right there that technically got filled. We have one below right there, but again, maybe not everything is supposed to be filled. And right now we're just traveling towards the upside. Again, here we had imbalance, filled, pushes up, pulls back. Right now we have a bullish week. Potentially expecting next week the first target to be that weekly high. Dropping on the day, well, the day, I would say the last daily break was here. There is 50%, there is no imbalance, so the market just dipped below the 50%, and right now, like you can see, the last 2 days is just massively expanding up. And then of course the 40 time frame aligned bullish. There is the breakdown. Then what caused this breakdown? Then there is the break up. So it just broke down, immediately broke up, pulls back higher low, boom, higher low, boom, high. Right? So there's the next break. There is the next break. And there is the next break, which is valid. So the last break and the last higher low is here. That is our last range. There it is, right? So there is lots of imbalance right there. There's one here, there is one there. So if the market pulls back below 50% towards imbalance, then look for the longs. And then of course your target is immediately going to be this. So there is analysis. Bullish bias on US30, very simple, very nice. The monthly, the weekly, and everything is supporting a bullish bias. So let's see how it works out. Nasdaq, monthly time frame, absolute killer, pushing up. Maybe soon, going for all-time highs. Who knows, right? Weekly time frame, absolutely bullish as well. There is that very nice liquidity area. The market took it, reacted for 1 week, but this week it looks like it's already pushing up towards taking out the high. Daily time frame, again, range from the low to the high, 50% pullback. What it did, imbalance filled, like this is just nice and easy. Imbalance filled, pushing up, next target, the high. Okay, 40 time frame, dropping down. Where is the 40 alignment? Well, the 40 alignment happened a little bit late. So again, if you were looking to take a long from here, then of course, like your 40 time frame is down, but then you can of course utilize the 50-minute time frame to be taking it from here. Like you can be taking longs from here, somewhere longs from there. Like you just look for a 15-minute alignment, right? And you can see from there, you actually go up. So it's all about like listening to that macro bias, which to me is inclining more towards the daily. Okay. And then of course, working my way on the lower time frames. Like again, guys, you grow, you learn, your approach changes. Like I had a little bit of a discussion via email with a very amazing person. Was it Martin? I think Martin, kind of the name is getting out of my way. But of course I got a comment like, you gotta be more systematic, stop changing stuff, stop flicking through stuff. I fully agree. Like you gotta be systematic, you gotta have a framework, but you also have to be open-minded to learning new things, to changing things in your plan, and to actually becoming a better trader. Because if you really, a mistake that I personally do, if I really like zone in on my plan and really kind of try to be very systematic, I limit myself from learning new things and from actually listening to market feedback and improving as a trader. So again, be open-minded. Go more towards intuitive trading as well, and towards understanding the market a little bit more. So again, as I grow as a trader, I'm not where I want to be. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. So again, be open-minded. Very nice push into the highs on the 4H. Last range, there is the 50%. So first thing you can expect, let the market pull back to 50%, fill it in balance, and then take a long. That's it. Very nice, very simple. Bullish is bullish until we take out this high. S&P, amazing trades this week because I'm trading a lot of S&P right now. But again, I wasn't trading. I was traveling in the Netherlands. Right now I'm in Italy for 2 weeks, and I'm going to be going back to the Netherlands for my graduation ceremony. Then I'm back in Italy for a holiday, and then I'm going to be going on a road trip, Switzerland, Croatia, Czech Republic, I believe. Like, yeah, it's going to be tough until I actually settle in my new home and start like full-time trading and working, right? So here, monthly time frame, around the monthly, yeah, monthly time frame, very nicely pushing up, very nice candle. Weekly time frame already took out the high. Okay, so of course there is a little imbalance left right there, so that is something we can expect to be filled. But you can see what was first filled was this guy that exactly got filled this week. Okay, so that's the most recent one. That was also like a daily one. There's a daily one filled, and we already came in and we made a daily break. So if S&P is making a daily break, Nasdaq and US30 are gonna follow up. And you can see S&P was actually the first, and I was long bias this week on S&P, but I wasn't on the charts. Unfortunately, once again, broke structure up right there. So technically the last 4-hourly range in this case, it's from this low to this high. So once again, similar to all the other pairs, wait for it to dip below 50%, and then of course we can start we can start trading it. And yeah, when it comes also to the daily, like if I just focus more on the daily, there is a little bit right there, not a lot, but that's the little bit, which is probably below the 50%. So yeah, this is potentially where I would like to see the market come in before I start looking for longs, because right now, like we took out the daily high, so we can start looking for a little bit of shorts towards the 50%, and then for the market to continue going up. But of course, stay tuned for my incoming weekly outlooks, where we're going to be breaking down the indices in great details, but they look amazing. So I'm actually, as I get more time right now, I'm going to be getting back to my investments and to actually stacking up on my portfolio and bringing it to 6 figures. So let's see how fast that will take me. When it comes to crypto, well, target fulfilled, again, tapped into 25k, filled in an imbalance, pushed up, took out the high. So right now we can start expecting the market to pull back to 50%, fill in some imbalance right there in the daily, and then potentially take another buy. So personally, again, just swinging it, I'm looking for the market to come in towards here, 50%, tap inside imbalance, and continue going higher. So that's a very simple Bitcoin analysis. And Ethereum, I'm pretty much not looking at Ethereum right now. So as this video is pretty long, I want to end it up right there. So hopefully you found value from the monthly outlook and setups. We had a look at the monthly. We built a very nice top-down analysis. Hopefully you are enjoying the videos. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you keep commenting, because again, every month I'm picking a giveaway winner that I give access to full-time access, lifetime as well, to everything that I offer. Currently, as I said, working on a big revamp for the course platform, and after this is done, then I'm going to be focusing more on content for you guys. So again, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit like, support the channel. I love you all, and talk to you on Flow with the Markets on Tuesday or Wednesday.